Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm going to talk you through how to get the full decks on Onslaught's Special 1. Now, we have a Spring of Sorrow boss fight coming up with Onslaught, and if I were the one designing the fight, I would be asking players to do this dex a lot, very similar to the Danny fight from Winter of Woe. So for me, getting this dex is all about memorizing the timing of the swipes. There are 5 of them total, and I have found that paying attention to the projectiles or the sound effects is actually a bit misleading, and the better approach is to watch Onslaught himself in order to learn the timing of the dexes. Alright, let's cover the dex in slow motion. So the first one is really easy. You want to use it to create some distance between you and him. And the second one, you want to watch for his arm being raised in the air. That is the cue to start your second dex. Now, the timing on this dex and the next two are very tight, so you really need to be precise, because if you miss one of them, you're going to take the rest of the special to the face. For the third dex, you want to watch for his other arm being fully raised in the air, and then go ahead and dash back then. Right after that, he's going to send out a huge shockwave, which is the fourth dex, and then he's going to land on the ground and fire a bunch of projectiles for you, and that's the fifth and final dex. Let's take a look at it one more time in slow motion without the pauses, and I'll add some audio cues in so that you can hear the timing at half speed. So when you're baiting the special, make sure you have enough space. Dodge back the first hit, projectile 1, arm raised 2, shockwave, and then he lands, and then the final set of projectiles. Okay, let's see it again in slow motion, and this time I won't talk over the audio cues. And finally, one more time at full speed. Now, what makes this dex so tricky for me is that there isn't really any rhythm to it, and you can kind of hear that in the audio cues. But as I mentioned before, once your fingers have the timing memorized, you'll be able to just do it, and you won't have to pay attention to what he is doing. Now, one thing I would highly recommend when fighting Onslaught is that you do not finish your combos when they would push him over a bar of power. If you use your second medium or your fourth light and he has a bar of power available, there's a very good chance that he is going to catch you with the first hit of that special one as you dash back. Sticking to 4-hit combos will prevent that and also give you more time to avoid an unblockable hit via his crush charge as well. One last note about this dex that you've probably noticed in this video is that it does leave you too far away from Onslaught to punish him, which means you'll have to get your openings by either baiting a heavy or intercepting. That's going to do it for this guide. If it helped you, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure to share it with your friends and alliance mates as well. It will undoubtedly be useful for you in battlegrounds, and hopefully it also comes in handy for this Spring of Sorrow Onslaught fight that's coming up in just about a week or so. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.